Yeah, nobody's going to do it for you, and you got to do it for yourself. And if you come to the apprenticeship being aware of that, uh, it'll be a lot easier for you. So you don't have to figure that out while you're at the apprenticeship. I think it's important to have expectations, but it's so fluid here that there's no way you're going to get pushed way beyond what you're comfortable with. And honestly, I think that's a way to look at the woods as well, and trying to live in the woods, is that certain things that you're going to take as a given just aren't so, and you're going to be surprised how kind of wonderful and different things that things you never expected will happen, and it'll be pretty fantastic. I think one of the big takeaways for me with the apprenticeship and just learning these skills is how the whole idea I think the whole idea of being on your own and doing the whole like survivalism thing on your own, just like you and your family, is crap. You need community, you need other people, and if you're just going to be out in the middle of the woods on your own, you're going to go crazy, and it's going to be awful. And it doesn't have to be awful. Like, living in the woods can be fun, learning these skills can be fun, and it doesn't have to be coming from a place of the world is ending, or I guess fear-based idea. Someone might come at these skills. If there weren't these other people here doing this, I probably would bail, because it's fun to do it on your own to a certain extent. Then you just kind of get stuck in your own idea of like, well, you already know this, and you already know how to do this, and you know what's right, and this is comfortable, so it's working. And when you have these other people around you, you have a community around you, they bring in new ideas and new perspectives, and that keeps you from starving, and that keeps you warm, because everybody thinks and sees and perceives the world in a different way. And I think that's really important, especially with earth skills, because I guess I've been amazed this year by how you get taught one thing, and you feel like you've got that down, and then somebody will just come and be like, well, what if we try this?
Camera, are you?
And then that'll just make it so much easier, or like it'll open up this whole other world of well, then what if we try this, and then what if we try this? And when you're alone, just like reading books or trying to do it out in the woods, you just got your own voice saying, well, this works, cool, what's next?
We just got back from a 3-day survival trip. It was cut short due to different circumstances, but 3 days out in the woods is a pretty good period of time. In the past, we've worked on shelter, water, and fire, primarily in the first 3 days. We seem to have, after doing that a bunch of different times, seems to have accelerated our skill sets a lot. Coming to classes here at the school and teaching classes here at the school, there's a learning curve that happens, but we need to take that skill set that we learn in a classroom setting, and we need to bring it out into the woods. The woods are going to tell us where we're at. And coming back from this survival trip, I'm feeling like there's something inside of me that's more than physical. And this is something that we know, we talk about spirituality and stuff like that. But when we hunt and we kill things, there's no doubt thoughts in our heads of, something can come and kill us, and we're going to die someday. And we're part of this circle, this nature circle. And so I've been wrestling with that in my mind for a little bit, and trying to figure out surrendering to it, and just being happy with where I am and happy being alive. And so if you're out there and you're happy to be alive and you want to come and join us out here in the woods, you should do it.
This was a good opportunity, and it really showed me that, hey, it's not hard. I don't have to suffer and
starve to death out there, I can be happy and run around and play all day, basically, as long as I know my priorities of the Sacred Order, and we'll survive.
The apprenticeship has helped out hugely, and I'm really starting to feel more confident and at home in the natural world because we had just an abundance of so many foods, all the fall fruits. We ate a lot of apples, loads of berries, hawthorn berries, what do you call them, nanny berries. Basically, we had all the food we needed to survive. So we were able to kind of focus on other things because we were always so well fed. Nature, it does give you opportunities, and it does provide for you. It gives you chances, and if you take them, you will prosper out there in the woods, and you don't have to go hungry. And I've noticed that from the apprenticeship here, just all the stuff I've been learning, it really helped me out on the survival trip. We were dining on so many different species of mushrooms. All the plant foods we've been learning, we were digging up roots and feasting on plants, and it's just being able to identify and recognize all the edible foods out there really, really helps, and it makes you feel so much more comfortable in the natural environment.
Just got back from a 3-day survival trip, and it was a good one. It taught me a lot about the power of community. So we went in, hammered on shelter, and we divvied up tasks. So I went out to collect some grasses with Ruben, another one of the apprentices this year, and when we came back, we already had a fire going and water boiling. Shelter, water, fire. So this is a big food trip for us here, and it was really amazing. Like, everybody just working together, the cohesive unit that we kind of formed was amazing. We talk a lot about community and the importance of community around here, and nothing really shows you community like being in the woods with a bunch of people. Because you really, you get out in the woods, it's a big difference between just you trying to do everything alone and when you have a group of people who are just working together because you're all after the same thing, And that's a big part of the apprenticeship is, we want people, and we're passionate about skills and sharing them, but also who can, we're all in it together, so we want to be able to get along and work together, and nothing really does it like being out in the woods.
Obviously, you got to have an interest in the outdoors. Make clear where your boundaries are, while also being up for pushing those boundaries. You need to be okay living with several people, obviously. that is a big part of it. And I think you need to know how to get along with people, or be willing to learn how to get along with people. What I often find with these skills is that the polar opposite worldviews actually aren't so polar opposite when you connect around something, in this case, the love of the natural world and connecting with the woods. It's pretty amazing how much can change, and how much you're willing to get along with people when you're just having a blast in the woods. You got to be self-motivated. That's pretty much it. Like, you just can't. If you don't have that, you don't have the motivation to just work hard, even if you're bad at it, even if it's hot out or the bugs are crazy, because the bugs are going to be crazy. Even if it's really cold, if you don't have that, it's going to make it a lot worse. And the more you lose your motivation, the harder it is to come back to it. Nobody else is going to be able to do it for you. You got to be able to be the one that gets you out of bed. Although Mike will attempt to get you out of bed with singing, which often will just make you want to stay in bed.
Alright, off to the shelter with this little guy. Thanks for watching.